All right, here we go. Just a chart. Starting at 0, this is a wacky pattern. You're going to multiply by 2, then add 2. So what's the pattern? Times 2 plus 2. We're kind of writing like the shortened version. Okay? So, the first week, she ran 2 miles. See, they said we start at 0. What's 0 times 2? Plus 2 is? Whoa, rewind. 0 times 2 is 0. Plus 2 is 2. That's why we wrote 2 first. Now you take this number times 2. So what's 2 times 2?
4.
Plus 2, 6. Oh boy. You're making me nervous, guys. So this is not necessarily a top to bottom pattern, but we'll see if something comes up. But we're just doing the same thing over and over again. Okay? All I'm doing is taking this number and I'm following the directions that we wrote, like the shortcut version on the line. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. Write it on the line. In the box, I mean. Same difference. The numbers are getting bigger. Right? Uh-oh. I goofed. Erase. I goofed. I goofed. I'm not perfect, right? Nah. Yeah. I mean, I'm really close to perfect, but not. No way, Jose. I'm not perfect at all. We should probably figure out the... Why don't we use this first? I kind of broke my own rule. All right. The first week she ran 2 miles. The second week she ran 3. The next week she ran 5. The week after that she ran 8. Okay. I need to tell you something. These are actually 2 different problems. I thought they were related to each other and they're not. Good thing you have an eraser, right? Why not? All right. So let's finish the chart problem and then we'll go back to the top one we erased. Okay? Because I just asked myself, why would they put a pattern on there twice? This is actually 2 separate problems. See what I'm saying? Okay. So, week after that, she ran 8. If this pattern continues, how many miles will she run in her 8th week? Let's see if we can do a top to bottom rule. 1 to 2 is... Times 2? 2 times 2 is not 3. Blast. Well, maybe we can go side to side. How do you get from 2 to 3?
Plus 1. Plus 2. Plus 3.
So we need to do plus 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. So then we need plus 5 is 17. Plus 6 is 23. Plus 6 is... Plus 7 is 30. So what they want you to do here is write 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, 17, 23, 30. And this is kind of crazy, but look at this. Watch this. From 2 to 3, it's plus 1. From 3 to 5, it's plus 2. You're actually adding these two numbers to get that number. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. 6 plus 17 is 23. 23 plus 7 is 30. Right? I don't know if that was intentional, but that's kind of crazy. That's like a brain teaser. Okay, so back to the pattern problem at the top. Start with 0, comma, because we're going to make a list. 0 times 2 is 0, plus 2 is 2. We already said that. They want us to make a list of all the numbers that we would do in the pattern. We got this. 2 times 2 is
4.
plus 2 is 6. It's actually what we did in the chart to start with. Okay? 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 14 times 2 is 28, plus 2 is 30. We'll stop there. It just continues. We'll leave it there. I know, right?
All of that.
Of course it is. You missed our show and tell today. It's a salamander.
I heard.
You heard all about it?
Well, I was asked if I could bring it in. So.
Oh, gotcha. It will also be picked up between 9:30 and 10. All right, we have that. Let's scooch it up. Scooch it up. And Mr. Waters, you are going to be YouTube famous. So, just so you know. Are you ready for that? Okay. All right. Remember, we're trying to find the rule. The number of red ornaments are, so notice they say the red ornaments are, that's this column, is 8 more than the number of green, which they say is G. Okay? Write an equation to show how many red ornaments are on a tree and complete the function table. We have not done equations, but remember, when you were in 3rd and 4th grade, you learned about a number sentence, right? Like 2 plus 3 equals 6. It's a number sentence. It has add-ins or factors. It has an operation. You're doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. And it has an equal sign with an answer. Okay? Sometimes you have to figure out the missing number. Sometimes you have to solve it. They're going to want us to write a way to solve it. I'll show you what it means. I think after I do the first one, you'll understand for the second one. Now they said, what do you do to G to get R? Plus 8. So G column plus 8 equals what? R. There you go. That's exactly what we've done with the rule. They're just kind of putting it in algebra. We haven't really done solving equations, but that's okay. It doesn't mean you don't know how to do it. So the rule is plus 8 to go from the left column to the right column. All right. So here's the thing. They're kind of, well, they didn't give you the rest of the G's. So we probably should figure out what the pattern is for the G's, and then we can go next door with our rule. Mallory, what do you see?
It's plus 2.
Yeah, those are going up by 2. So after 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14, 14 plus 2 is 16. Okay, freeze it there. It's a little hard to see that 16. We're good. Where's I thought my pencil, but it might be because of the light. All right, so let's put it into the equation. Basically, you're taking what's in the G column, you're adding 8, and it's going to give you the R. What's 14 plus 8?
22.
22. Good. 16 plus 8? 24. Again, if you're having trouble remembering your facts, 6 plus 8 is 14, and add that 10 back in to make it 24. All right.
Those went up by 2 too.
Well, I'll be darned. And actually, remember in our graphing, it would be a straight line because everything is just being consistent. Yeah. But remember, we're not doing the graph yet because we're practicing like the chart parts, and then we're going to combine the two in a minute. Crew's checking that out to make sure I'm not lying. All right. All right. Get it out of your system. All right. We need a rule. The number of minutes spent reading, which is M, is 5 times the number of pages read. Write an equation to show how many minutes are spent reading. So, this is a little bit tricky because you have to think a little bit, well, kind of backwards. How do you get from P to M? Levi.
M times 5 equals P.
M times 5 equals P. Well, that means that I'm going to take M times 5 to get P. See what I'm saying? You have to think backwards a little bit. You're not doing M times 5, you're doing P times 5 to get M. You have the right number in there. So P times 5, or you could do 5 times P. Remember Alexander switcheroo, right? 5 times P or P times 5 equals M. And you'll know next year when you get a little bit older, we don't write it like that anymore. We won't talk about it. Just kidding. Big kids will write it like this. What? If you write a number which is called, you're putting the 5 next to the P, no operation symbol. It means you multiply them. Isn't that weird? I know.
What do you do if you have to add them?
You still write the addition symbol.
Multiplication looks like an X.
Yeah. Well, we write it multiplication as an X. And actually, even some bigger kids are going to write it with a dot. You might even see this. Sometimes, like that could be on the maps test, writing a dot in the middle. Almost like a period, but in the middle, not like in the air like an apostrophe. It would be in the middle. But when you get older, they're going to start to put them next door to each other, and that just means you multiply them. Kind of saving some pencil for you when you get older, I guess. Yes, sir.
My teacher in 4th grade at my old school told me about the dot.
It's just you're going to start to see it on the maps test if you haven't already. Okay? Or possibly in a battle. So when you see a number and a letter stuck to each other, that means multiply them. Okay. All right. So if we're doing 5 times P equals M, what's 5 times 5? 25. Oh, this is a zeros trick. 5 times 10. 50. It's all right. You were doing the previous problem. I get it. What's 15 times 5?
75.
Good job. Oh, shoot. You gotta go backwards, right? Remember we talked about? If you find the rule, all you have to do is the opposite operation to go backwards. So what's 100 divided by 5? 20.
The P's are going by 5.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Thank you. We have to be, well, you can't do times 5 or divided by 5 if you don't know what's there. So figuring out what it's going by, what should be our next number? 25. 25, you think of quarters. How much do you have if you have 5 quarters? 125. Good. Is that quick enough for you? Okay. All right, good. You got to be quick. And it's okay if you're not. We got to get there, right? Okay, now this one's kind of crazy because guess what? Yeah, so here's the thing. Rip your papers in half. It's really empowering, I know. Here's the thing. I know they're back to back. The reason I want you to rip them apart is because you're going to be flipping back and forth and flipping back and forth. Right? You're fine. You're fine. Right? You're fine. You know why you're fine? Because I said you're going to be fine. Okay? Also, I'm going to poke a hole in my paper if I don't put something below it. It says create and label a coordinate graph about the cross-country running. Oh, Colin, are you all right? Look at the graph. What do we have to do first? Your least favorite thing in the whole wide world. Oh. They didn't give you a scale. Doggone doll. All right. Do you want to know what's even funnier? Is that you're not using this information, you're using this information. Because it said, if you read the graph, it says use Katie's cross-country running from page 2. Well, it's not really on page 2, it was on our front. Okay, I'm going to write this chart on the board so we can reference it. Do you think it matters if I write side to side or up and down? It really doesn't. By the way, this could be a strategy for you if you don't want to flip back and forth like on a homework or something. You could always write it on a sticky note. So you don't have to flip back and forth. But I'll write it up here, that way you don't have to flip back and forth. 2, 5, 8, 12, 17, 23, 30. Oh goodness, I got off one. 2, 5, 8, which one did I skip?
There's a 3.
3, 5. Oh,
2, 3.
Yeah, I skipped one. 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, 17, 30. Thank you. Crazy things happen when you get old. The brain doesn't work the same. All right. Oh, man.
The bottom, we can just go,
You just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8?
yeah.
Yeah. We can do that.
For this.
Yeah. Why not? Oh. Don't forget the origin 0 at the corner. Let's do it. And you know what's kind of funny? It's not very delayed today. Oh my gosh, Mr. Waters, sometimes it's quite hilarious.
It'll be like 40 seconds after she rates it.
Yeah, like so I'll write something and I'll walk away and then it's like 1, 2. I'm using my powers. Okay, so 10 all the way across the bottom. What do you think about going up top? Now, you know, in a perfect world, I would prefer that the graphs are the same on the X and the Y axis. Like if you go by 5s on the bottom, you should go by 5s on the top. You really should. But for our purpose, you guys, you would be like the tiniest, like each section would be 5. So if you had to go over 2, you'd be like, over 2. We'll just keep doing it this way. That way your graph's nice and spread out. Okay? And I've been checking your homework and you guys are rocking this graphing. All right, what should we go up by?
2s every other line, maybe? 3s.
I want. We could do this.
Whoa, could you do 3s?
Yeah.
Yes. Could I do 8s? I can do whatever I want. Remember, the queen has the powers to change. Like I can change math problems if I want. I think we should go up by 3s. Why not? You'll be okay. Just go up regular lines. Skip count with me. 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. And also, I knew that there were 10 lines and our last number was 30, so counting by 3s ended perfectly. We didn't have to make one of those graphs that went up into the problem like we did on accident last time. Okay? Here we go. Over 1, up 2. Where's 2?
Right in the middle.
What's in the middle of 0 and 3? 1.5. So you need to go over 1 and up just a little bit more than half. Really, I'm not going to come over there and measure to make sure you were exactly at a half. We're going to be okay. Just don't go up to 3. It's not there. Okay? Over 2, up 3. Oh, that's easy. Right on the corner. There you go. Over 3, up 5. Where's 5? Yeah, it's, a little bit, not to 6. Pretty close, but not 6. Kind of like we just did on the other one. Over 4, up 8. Where's 8? Yeah, kind of the same situation, just before the corner, not there. 5, 12. Ooh. And this is unlike any of the graphs we've done so far. You're like, Mrs. Denny, what are you talking about? I'll show you. 6, 17. Same thing. Just before the 18. Again, you don't have to be perfect. We're not in the business of being perfect, but pretty doggone close with this. Now, math facts, you got to be perfect, but 7:23. Just before the 24. Again, not on the corner, not on the intersection of the 2 lines. 8:30.
It was like flat, and then it just went straight up.
Okay, well, guess what? Don't do it yet. What normally we put the sprinkles on the cupcake? What's the icing on the cake? What do we do last? Connect the dots. We have a problem, don't we?
What?
Do you see it?
It's like a curve.
It's like a curve. It is a curve. It's not a line. So normally, we go boop, 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 boop. We connect them all into a straight line. This is not a straight line because she's not increasing by the exact same amount every time. That's what gives you the straight line. She's increasing by a little bit more each time, so it curves it. So yes, your line is going to be curved. Now it's not a ton, but it is curved. Curved. Okay. As soon as you get that all taken care of, scooch up a little bit. We're doing books versus time read. Which chart is that? It's in the second, it's the second graph on the page, like if I scooch this up. But what chart are they referring to? Yeah. The second one on your, I ripped mine apart. This one. This one. Okay? And I'm pretty excited about this one. Want to know why? Because it's 5 5s. So guess what we're going to do? We're gonna go by 5. Bless you. remember, because it was like 20 minutes ago. 25, 50.
75, 100, 125.
Yes, I know it's sloppy, but that's just my quick version of what we need. All right. What should we do on the bottom? Sounds good to me. And actually, I would like to skip lines. Skip a line 5, skip a line 10, skip a line 15, skip a line 20, skip a line 25. Cool with that?
Yep.
It just kind of spreads everything out. No big deal.
This might have to go up into the whiteboard a little because that's what I'm going to
Well, how many lines are there? 10.
If you did by
What if we skip count by 25s
yeah.
and skip lines, right? Yeah, let's do it. Skip a line, 25. Skip a line, 50. Skip a line, 75. Skip a line, 100. Skip a line, I was gonna write 75. 125. Well, that worked out extra fancy, right? Had a plan. Okay. Over 5 up 25. These are all going to be right on the corner. 1050. 1575. 2100. 25, 125. Look at that straight line. Well, we're getting better. Plus, it was right on the corner, and it just goes faster. We gotta make this quick. And then we'll just restaple. Okay? All right, on the coordinate plane, label the X and Y axis with numbers. Oh, it's Colin's favorite. Increments of 1, beginning at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do the same thing going up. 1. I know I'm going fast. I'm really trying to hustle so you don't have to do this for homework. By the way, that is one of the points on getting credit on this assignment. I know that you probably can just think I'm over 1 up 2, but the instructions specifically said to label the axis. So, check. On the coordinate plane, label the following coordinate pairs, which means you're going to go, for A, you're going to go over 1, up 3, because that's what it says, and you're going to write the letter A. If you want to cross them off as you do it so you don't forget one, you can. If you want to put a check mark, if you don't need to do that, then don't do it. You do what works for you. As long as you get them on the graph, I don't mind. B, over 6, up 5. You understand what you're supposed to do for the top part? Excellent. This part down below, I have to show you something and then you're on your own. You know how to do this. And it's not that many problems. Can you please come to the bottom? Because some of you are going to rush and you're going to miss. This does not mean they want you to draw a square. Remember on our one assignment, you had to like plot points and then connect them to make a square? That's not what they want. They want you to tell them what the coordinate pairs are for the square. The other thing, my friends, we're getting ready for geometry because that's what we're doing in the next math chapter. You got to know what a pentagon is, and a hexagon, and a trapezoid. So this is like a preview of what's coming. So Tell me where the square is. I'll do the first one and then you're on your own. Where's the square?
99.
Over 2, up 9. Do not forget the parentheses. Okay. Set it on the floor. Please stop working. Levi, Alexander.